Good Monday morning. You know, a friend of mine and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about self-control, and especially when it came to our words. And I told them, I said, you know, there are two ways that fruit grows. There may be more, so if there are, you can just post it in a comment. But the two that came to my mind is the first one, fruit grows by being grafted to the vine that grows the fruit. So if there is something that I'm needing in my life to see the evidence of, that's a fruit of the Spirit, and I'm not seeing it, then the first place I have to look is my relationship with Jesus Christ. Because the deeper that my relationship grows with Jesus, fruit is just a byproduct of that relationship. It kind of can't help itself but grow. But the second way that fruit grows is when we use it, when we practice it. You can't expect for something to, and you can't expect to get better at something if you don't ever practice it. You know, it'd be kind of like thinking you're going to go out there and be Jordan Spieth and you don't ever hit a golf ball. So you have to use it for it to grow. And 2 Timothy actually says about self-control, it says, the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love. And one translation says of self-control. Another translation says of a sound mind. But self-control is the fruit that is needed to guard what comes out of here. So we have to be willing to have a deep and abiding relationship with the Lord for any fruit to grow. And we also have to be willing to practice self-control in opportunities that present themselves to use it. Now, usually the opportunities that present themselves to use self-control, it's the last thing we want to use. But the only way for us to get better at it and for it to grow in our life is to see the value of it and put it into practice. So in regards to our words, I wanted to read two passages. The first one is Proverbs 10:19. And it says this, it says, when words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. What an important thought to be reminded of, that when we just want to have a lot of words, it's a good opportunity to get ourselves in trouble. If we're not really thoughtful users of our word. And then it uses that word restraint, which is self-control. But whoever restrains his lips or has self-control over his lips is prudent. He's wise. He's a smart man. It's like you can walk into a situation and watch somebody. I mean, Facebook, social media is a perfect example. You can read a post and you can think, where was the person that had the self-control in that situation? Because not everything we think do we need to say. And then chapter 13, verse 3 says it this way. It says, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. So just a minute ago, all we were talking about was, where did it go? 19. Transgression is not lacking. Okay, so it's easy to get yourself caught up into something sinful if you have a lot of words, whether it's gossip or criticism or anger. But here it even goes even farther. It says, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. But he who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. That doesn't mean that everything we say is going to lead to ruin. That doesn't even mean that sometimes when you're with a good friend, you aren't going to have a lot of words, especially if you're a woman. But what it does remind us of is, oh, the power of this tiny instrument. So my question is, how close are you in this season to the one who is the cultivator of self-control in your life? And secondly, are you practicing those moments that you're privileged or invited to use your self-control and using it? Father, may you make us people who realize the privilege and the power of this tiny instrument of ours.